Cool. So we'll start with some, facts taken from a census in 2021, mainly for 2020, sort of, responses to augmented reality experiences. And really, brands do connect, people and brands connect better with AR experiences. As it says, 30% more likely to be considered if you have a branded AR experience. And really, this comes from people, just being able to trust you more, just experiencing your brand in a much more immersive way, and you just become more memorable. So there's definitely, multiple ways that this can be achieved, which we'll go through sort of later on. But it really comes down to just basically giving people something unique that really resonates with them, which you can, connect with them just on a slightly more personal, experiential level. And there's a figure here as well. Users are 57% more likely to share with friends and family, because people's favorite subject is themselves, right? So especially if it's one that's sort of overlaying their face or their immediate environment, it's really likely to make them want to share it with people close to them, and then in turn that's just compounding effect of them sharing it and stuff like that. I've actually seen a lot of filters people have made of that doll from Squid Game. I don't know if any of you guys have watched Squid Game. I definitely recommend it. But there's the first game, the red light, green light game. So many people have made the filter of the sort of doll that turns around and then looks at them and then they get shot. And the shares have been insane. Like, loads of people have been doing slightly different versions of it, but they've been sharing the actual organic engagement. It's just insane. So that's just a really good example of that. And, not just the engagement side, but, conversion side. AR interactions really do drive conversions. And I know this, first-hand experience. I've been using them. There's a lovely quote here from the EVP of Gucci saying, conversion rates that we've seen surprised us. As a result, we're doubling down on AR experiences to drive e-commerce. And this is the case for a lot of bigger brands. They're really seeing the value in AR experiences for their marketing. And they're just all going to start testing it. They're all using them in, within their product pages or their social, or, there's lots of different uses of them. But for actual, conversion campaigns, it's something that's very overlooked, and that's, what we're focusing on today. Interacting with products that have AR experiences leads to a 94% higher conversion rate. So I've honestly seen numbers is almost bigger than this. Like, initially we had an incredible engagement, but what was happening with the sort of case study I cover in later is they've actually got a launch going on with some other creatives which are using quite similar audiences, so they had to sort of share some of the the delivery. But initially, when it was just running on its own, it was just getting incredible results. So, and of course, a higher conversion rate means they just feel more connected with you. They just feel more trusting. That's a really big factor of it. They trust you more because they're seeing your your product in their actual life, in their space. They're not just seeing something external. It really feels like it's something that they can reach out and touch, and that's really a really big difference there with AR ads and conventional creatives. Users are 37% more likely to purchase products through a brand's website through an AR experience, and that's definitely something I've seen as well. I've got comparisons of conversion rates between the two, conventional and AR ads that we've been running, and they're actually more than this. So that's definitely reigned true for us. And people are using to make personal decisions because, as I said, it's something they're experiencing, something they're able to see and feel. Well, not feel, but they can imagine it more in their space. So there's currently actually more than this, 100 million consumers shopping with AR in stores. It's actually more like 600 million, sorry. But this was actually taken for 2020 leading up to 2021. So, it's grown a lot in the current climate that we're in, where people are, well, I guess not all countries, but 2020 and maybe beginning of 2021, people weren't able to go to the shop. I don't know about you guys, but especially when I'm buying clothes, I like to go and I feel the fabric, because the actual texture of the fabric is really the most important thing in a garment for me. I don't really care about design or anything else. I just like this nice fabric and a nice fit and a shape. That's most important to me. So people who are aesthetic like me, this is accomplishing that for them in their feed, bringing it into their actual phone and bringing them into the experience. So here, 93% of users say they'll use AR again more when shopping next year. And that's a huge thing because this is a brand new thing to your audience. You need a level of education as well. But this is something that people will get used to and they'll almost assume is a better ad. That's a really big point that I definitely wanted to highlight. It's getting, it can get to the point where AR ads stand out from other ads. At the moment, it's all, it's sort of almost like a novelty thing, so they will stand out in that respect. But imagine if you can really connect people with your brand and your product with an AR ad, and then they see the same sort of thing. They're like, oh, cool, I remember this last time. I want to check it out again. So, that's why that's there. And they drive revenue as well. 26% more likely to share experience with family and friends, as you know. So that means that it's 20% more likely to purchase products from the brand. So that really means that people around them are buying from you. People around them are using your AR experience. They're more likely to do that too, because we all know the power of UGC and how UGC works. And, this does create some UGC for you, but it's just that experiential thing of being able to share it with everybody just has that, knock-on effect of just much more power. And it captures consumer attention. So AR delivers almost twice the level of visual attention compared to their non-AR equivalent, leading to improved memories and more powerful responses from consumers. So this is huge for brand loyalty, customer retention. This is not just something you run at the top of the funnel, which I'll go into in a second. This is something you can run at all levels of the funnel for all different reasons. Awareness, engagement, retention. You can definitely put this wherever you have a need to just improve your metrics, basically. So it builds customer confidence, as I said. They're more likely to buy if they've had that experience with the product and they've seen it, they've worn it, they've put it on their face, they'll put it in their space. So nearly 3 in 4 consumers are willing to pay more for a product where that transparency is there. So the really big problem in e-commerce, especially with drop shipping, I know we all hate it. If it's done well, we don't hate it, but most of the time it's not done well. The quality is a huge issue, right? So that's why Facebook has become so strict with shutting everyone's ad accounts down every 10 minutes and banning, rejecting random ads because it thinks it's showing too much skin, et cetera, et cetera. This shows people what your product's really like, and they can experience it almost to the level that they could in person. So it just has that added trust factor to it. And also a really big point here, leads to less returns because, as I said, people are experiencing it first before they have actually purchased. So then they're less likely to go, oh no, this isn't really what I wanted, because they've put it on. They're not. AR is not in the place where you have a perfect fit, because the tracking is amazing. Don't get me wrong, but it's not to the point where you know exactly the size of what it works, because it doesn't really measure like the space in that way. Like if you're wide, if you're small, if you're thin, it doesn't fit to you. It just fits to the sort of mapping. And I'm not a dev and I'm not a creator, so I'm sort of a bit out of my depth there, but that's sort of my understanding of it. The filters, yeah. But still, people do have that trust factor, which leads to them wanting to return less. So here's a conclusion of the data side. Consumers continuously expect more personalized and engaging experiences that enable them, and that's what AR does. It's delivering this to consumers today, and it still remains an untapped potential for so much more. So this is what I'm saying. It's a blue ocean opportunity. It's not just something where you have a AR filter made and it's just something that sits in your Instagram little creator area, and sometimes people share it with their friends and test it out and have fun with it and share videos, blah, blah, blah. It's something that you can use in so many levels of your marketing funnel. So this is a huge opportunity. Anyone that's on this call, anyone that's going to watch the replay, this is a really huge opportunity for you, your brand, your agency, or if you're just a freelancer. This is something you can pitch to people to get them on board. This could be like a lead generation, because sooner or later, more people are going to be searching for this when they start seeing how effective it is. They're like, oh, cool, I need someone who's a specialist in AR ads. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to show anyone who's interested in actually being able to do that for themselves, how to do that. Because I'm doing that right now. I'm trying to find brands that are down to give this a go, the ones that are excited about it, and the ones that are willing to test it. So here's the actual metric